Hello, welcome back to the channel. The Conduit Method series is day Eve Night, reality creation enthusiast, fashion designer, energy healing practitioner. This is the tarot session of the Conduit Method. I'm going to be doing a general reading for the collective, but also inside the Conduit Method Character Spec. You can do your own reading. The spread is in there that was created. It's really simple. During the Conduit Method, we just want to focus on feelings and perceptions, okay? And we want to hone in even deeper on these characters that we're trying to play. So I'm just going to do a general reading that you can go into more depth on your own. Here are the decks I'm using. The Modern Witch Tarot deck, African Goddess Writing Oracle deck. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I want to say Bestiary. Oracle deck, which is animals. And the Herbiary Oracle deck, which is my first deck. So, yeah, let's start. I've already cleansed the decks. If you have never pulled tarot before, you want to cleanse the decks first. Cleanse yourself, wash your hands. Want to take the opportunity to just give thanks to Spirit for the opportunity to hold space for you all. It's really important that you take where resonates. It's a collective reading, right? So it everybody might not feel, you might not resonate with everything, right? So take what resonates. Take what resonates. So the first question in the tarot spread is, what are the dominant feelings about yourself necessary to hold this timeline? Okay, I got 2 cards out. 6 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. In part 1. And then what are the dominant perceptions about yourself necessary to hold this timeline? Knight of Swords. Okay, so look at the 6 of Cups. There's something about this that is a gift to younger self. This timeline, something that motivates them, something that's important to them is your inner child. It's those dreams that you had as a kid. It's those moments where you were envisioning what it could look like. This is yeah, this is a fulfillment of a dream. And you did it. You did it. This version of you, this character, something that can help you tap into that energy is to tap into the feeling of, imagine what it would feel like when you've made your little self proud, when you can look at your little self and say, hey, boo, the things that you were dreaming up, your desires, your wishes, they're here, they're true, they're done. How do you feel? Being able to give that gift to little you. So that's the feelings. It feels like, yeah, it just feels like finally being able to kneel down to your little self and say, hey, girl, we did it. We did it. And you planted the seed. Look at how she's looking up with her braids. Like, what? I know, something about this yellow house feels significant. There's something about a house, like, there's something about the house where this wish was, this is really speaking to me too. This rock right here at the front. I've never noticed this in this card until now. This rock right here and the cup sitting on top of the rock, sitting on top of the rock. in front of the house like that. There's something about it's an important message to go back in your mind's eye, or if you can go back physically, but like, is there a significant childhood home for you where these dreams were born out of, whether it's from contrast or out of love, right? Or being inspired, right? Contrast or inspiration. There's something significant about, like, for somebody, there's something significant about that experience really cementing those desires and making them strong and clear. The Five of Pentacles is interesting as a dominant feeling necessary to hold the timeline. I'm thinking about another deck in my head and the imagery from another deck right now, but I'll just say it's from the Light Seers deck. Yeah, so this kind of gets into another part of the reading, but I'll just say it here too. Like, there's a sensation of like, oh, I found the key. So in the Light Seers Tarot deck, I'll maybe put the image of it somewhere in here. The Five of Pentacles is there's a door and the key is right next to the door, and the person is in despair and is not looking up and can't see that the key is right there to solve the problem, right? Something Abraham Hicks says is that the problem and the solution are different vibrations. And whatever you pay attention to is going to grow, and that's where you're going to be at. So if you're focused on the problem and you're ruminating in the problem, you're not going to see the solution. So you won't look up and see what the key to the door is, that there is support. So there's something about the sensation of that moment of discovering like there is solutions. Wanting to be in the energy of solutions, of looking around and seeing that there are always solutions. There's always a ram in the bush, okay? So you want to feel that frequency. You want to maintain that frequency of being like solution oriented, that everything is ultimately going to work out. And you also want to know and recognize what that feeling of despair looks like so that you can come up out of it sooner. But a feeling important to hold, the two feelings that are important to hold here is the feeling of like, I've done it. We did it, Joe. We've done it, dearies. And what's beautiful about being able to give this cup to your younger self is that because our younger selves, our childhood selves, their desires have been controlling the steering wheel, for a minute. And it's time for new desires. It's time for new goals, new aspirations. It's time to set new sights. And now that you've satisfied her, once you have that feeling of being like, hey, we did it. We did it. All the things that you wanted, everything you wanted to be, how you want to show up, we've done it. So now she also just gets to have fun along the ride because you've done your thing. So blessings. And then this feeling of like, there's always a solution. There's always a ram in the bush. Where is it? Getting curious about where it is, about where the ram in the bush is. Okay. Important perception is the Knight of Swords. It's your perceptions about yourself that are necessary to hold this timeline. The perception is what you decide this timeline means about you. This timeline means you're sharp. It means you're equipped. You're passionate. You're self-assured. You're quick. You want to move quickly. You feel confident. You feel assured. But you also want to have a perception about yourself that there's room to grow, there's room for improvement, and it's okay to double check. It's okay to check your impulses a little bit, right? Not, you want to take advantage of it because you're coming from a season where you hesitated a lot, where you didn't even take any action, right? And you're about to go into the other side of it where you're just going to just go because you finally done the work, you're finally here. So it's like boom. But this is still new territory. And you want a good balance of, you want to see yourself as someone who's confident, who can do it, who's um equipped, who has everything that they need, but is still open to advice, still open to double checking some things, you know, reviewing some things, asking around to people you trust, not too much, right? We're not trying to be hesitant. We're not trying to stall. We're not trying to dilly dally, but we're also not just trying to yoon off. You know what I'm saying? Cross your T's, dot your I's, review things, because you're probably going to be spending some more time in the public eye. You're probably going to be more out and about, and you just want to present yourself well, and you want to be mindful of people and mindful of others, of your community members and things. So just watch how you're moving. And so yeah, embody both. The perception of yourself is that, yeah, we here, and I'm still double checking things. I'm still reviewing things. So what are the dominant feelings about yourself that are introducing some resistance? Where is the resistance coming from? This is where we want to be, this is the point where in our toolbox, we want to build toolboxes around these things, right? Awareness is 6 of Wands. This is so interesting. This is such an interesting reading. Okay, what are the dominant perceptions? Ace of Cups. Okay, so you're becoming a powerful manifester. You're becoming a really powerful manifester. And now you've gotten the hang of focusing. And you know that if you focus, things can come to pass. When you focus on the state of the wish fulfilled, if you focus on how you're going to feel when you have the thing and how you're going to perceive yourself when you have the thing. Just remember that even though you're becoming you have always been a powerful manifester. We always have. And you're becoming a powerful, deliberate manifester. There is still more for you to learn about how this shit works. You're always still learning. Yeah, there's something about these two that make me feel like you're always still learning. Don't ever forget that. Things are going to start to come in really nicely and fast. But just know there's always something else for you to learn and get better at and refine. And stay clear about what the mission is. It's kind of like a motherfucker dunk and want to swing from the backboard and all kind of shit and ain't getting right back in the game. Celebrate your victories, but you can't stay in them for too long, because there's always something else. There's going to be something else to manifest, something else to do. Make sure you remember what the whole purpose is. Like all these dunks along the way, all these points we put up along the way, you want to win the game. And you're about to win a major point of the game. It's not even just like you want to win the game, like it's about the playoffs. It's about the championship. So we got practices, we got matches that we're doing, but the goal is to get to the playoffs. The goal is to get to the Super Bowl. So stay focused. Don't ever get too big for your britches. Stay focused, stay diligent, stay discerning. You about to get a lot of motion, a lot of new people, a lot of new faces, a lot of new attention, a lot of newfound popularity or stardom on various levels. Don't forget what the fucking mission is. Don't forget what the whole point of this shit is ever. Ground it down. Ground it down. Put people who keep you in check. Ground it down. The perception of the timeline that's going to get in the way is the Ace of Cups in reverse. I'm hearing something about like the absence of love, romantic love specifically. You might find yourself focused on the absence of romantic love. I don't know, it's for somebody. Take what resonates. There's a lot of things that have been put in place. Just think of this as another opportunity for creation. It's another opportunity to create. There's always beautiful things happening in love around you. Deepen your love of self. Always recognize your love of self. Nurture your love of self. Nurture all the kinds of loves that there are. So many languages have words for every kind of love, like sibling love and love of God, love of nature, love of spirit, a romantic love, I don't know, a more, acquaintance type love. Like there's just so many ways to describe love that the English language kind of translates into one word. And I would get into, something's I've been having conversations within my community, really just with my bestie about love. And wanting to get deeper into Bell Hook's series about love, just to have more conversations about what it is. Like, what are we actually, it's an opportunity to refine, like, what you actually say you want. What is romantic love for real? What do we actually need in that kind of partnership and companionship, right? Especially if you're successful in resources, right? Like the conversation that we were having was kind of like a lot of people are right now being in partnership is like a really helpful thing financially and emotionally and mentally. It's just nice to be in partnership in these times, okay? Which can make your decision making process, it can complicate your decision making process, right? And we see it complicating things right now in the gender wars and people, some folks are like, I need somebody who's going to pay for everything, soft girl life, da da da. But we don't hear a lot of discourse, especially like listen to like pop the balloon challenges and shit. Like the things that people say they want or they're looking for. We all need to read all the Bell Hooks books about love. Like, what do we actually want? And if we can tap into our own abundance, that we know that we'll be taken care of and that love exists and we have love of self, we have to choose partners from a abundant place, from an abundance of love. So if you are perceiving yourself to not have a lot of love around you, not a lot of romantic love opportunities, this is going to be interesting. And it's not about the relationship to the other person or having a lot of lovers, but it's about being full of love of self, just being full of love. Yeah, tapping the bell hooks. That's the perception of self, right? Okay. Blessings. Let's get some oracle cards. Let's start here with the bestiary. Do we have a word? Do we have a word? Steady on. The tortoise. I was at the zoo. And tortoises be living long as fuck. And they be moving steady and slow with their little long necks chopping on their veggies and stuff. Okay, archaic. The common tortoise. Slow and steady, says tortoise. Well versed in the ways of time. Tortoise was born ancient, older than snake or alligator, and certainly older than humans. As other species have changed, evolved, and shifted, tortoise has remained steadfast. Late to almost everything, tortoise is a totem of the slow boomer. There's no need to be a prodigy, tortoise assures you. You didn't miss the boat simply because your first few decades have passed. Hunker down, connect with Earth, take a siesta. It's through the slow and steady that we truly come to know ourselves. This is so beautiful. And I feel this amplifying these cards right here. Like there's something about you, really wanting to move fast, you're having a perception of moving really fast, but you have to cross your T's and dot your I's. You have to slow down. Like wherever your Virgo placements are, like slow down. And Aries, like slow down. Yes, there's something that's happened here, but you don't have to be on the same time as the world. Because you have to remember like I said, remember the mission, remember the reason. We're here to anchor the love matrix, not to move at the same speed of a dying system, of an incongruent system. Remember your cycles. Remember to move with nature. If you ministrate, move with your ministration cycle. Even if you don't ministrate, Dr. Mindy Pels has a lot of research on people if you're menopausal, like what your new rhythm could be like hormonally. If you're a man or you don't have a womb, usually you get a hit of testosterone like every 15 minutes or something. Just look at your cycles. Notice your own rhythm, the most supportive rhythm to you. And, as I've talked about maybe on the channel, I've been trying to get back into Atomic Habits, and the quote that has stuck with me the most in my reimmersion of it is that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Slowness has to be built into your system. When you get an offer for something and people are like, I need to know right now, you can't tell them because you have a system for when you receive an offer that makes you slow down. Don't let urgency have you fucked up like everybody else's urgency. Don't let that have you fucked up. Because when you're in these new rooms, you need to maintain your energy. You need to maintain your energy. Everybody around you, okay? What they say, the hare and the tortoise, okay? Everybody around you could be doing a sprint. Slow your ass down. Okay, now we have a herb. Do we have a herb? A word from the herb? We do. It's marshmallow. A spoonful of sugar. What does the marshmallow have to say? There's nothing Marshmallow would love more than to spend time in your kitchen. She'll lean over your shoulder, offering suggestions for adorning your salads and thickening your soups. There's no reason for foul-tasting anything, including medicine, declares the grand dame of dessert. She should know, having been at it since around 200 BCE. Egypt, dear, she'll tell you, a lovely place. I fed pharaohs and gods. But Marshmallow's not one to dwell on the past. She takes too much joy in bringing ease to the present. And there's much work to do. Digestion these days. She tisks and sets about creating her latest confection. Call on Marshmallow when you need to soften and rediscover sweetness. I love that this is right next to this one because this card, when I was reading because I had to get a little refresher on the Knight of Swords. I had to get a little refresher. So I was reading it was like, oh, bitch, you've lost your compassion and your heart for folks. When you're moving fast and you're delivering messages, it's okay to put a little bitches love, like, I don't sugarcoat shit. Bitch, put some sugar on some shit. Everything don't gotta taste bad. Figure out how to say shit well to people. Figure out the best way. It's gonna take a couple more brain cells, but do it. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it, dear. Slow and sweet. Okay. Now you have the African goddess rising oracle. I love these goddesses. Does a goddess have a word? Yes. We have a word. Worthiness. Etheric core. Let's see what they have to say. Atete. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Goddess of worthiness from Ethiopia, Oromo, Ethiopia. Temple of the warriors, element is bush, which is earth. Great goddess Atete, queen of the gods, is a fierce protector of women and girls for the Oromo people of Ethiopia. Stop hiding, shrinking, and playing small. Stand tall like the majestic sycamore tree. You are mighty. Life does not need to be perfect for you to embrace your own perfection. You matter. Worthiness is your veins. Accept yourself now. Your birth certificate says that we need your overflowing magic, joy, and vulnerability. This was in the Reiki session. And most importantly, we need you. You are deserving and worthy. The beautiful parts of you that everyone likes are worth loving. The parts that you or others dislike are worth loving too. Your creator loves you unconditionally. Your goddess declaration is, I matter. Okay? Ate that right on up. Blessings to Goddess Atete, Atit. I'm not sure, but I feel like it would be, I don't know what I feel like it would be, but it came off my mouth as Atete. Thank you. Okay. We have two goddesses that are, okay. All right, Spirit. What's going on? What we saying? Goddess Atete is a fierce protector of women and girls, and so is Erzuli. Okay, so there is something about the divine feminine being protected around this bitch. What's going on? Love this. Let's get into it. Goddess of etheric chords in Haiti, Temple of the Lovers, element fire. Erzuli Dantor fought elbow to elbow with her people during the Haitian Revolution to protect mothers and children. She represents the healing of the dark mother. If it isn't wholehearted love, release it. Remember your worth. Your energy cords, the energy cords binding you and someone you no longer wish to be attached to are strong. You must be willing to let go. Close your eyes, see divine swords of God, goddess, loving light separating you and dissolving the cords between you. You are both whole and healed. Just as you shower to cleanse physical grime, there's also grime in the form of energy cords, also called karmic ribbons, emotional cords, or etheric cords. Spiritual maintenance is required. I am worthy, compassionate, and whole. So it's time to clear people up. Everybody can't go, dear. Everybody can't go where you're going. So we have to clear some things, clear some people. Or the people themselves might not be it, but like your relationship to them, how much energy and time you spend with them, or your perception about them. And maybe you're too invested in their opinion. Like, for example, it could be like, you're going to college, your parents say, you're going to be a doctor. But it's like, no, my parents need to fall back. I need to energetically, the energetic weight, the weight that my parents have in my life has to be adjusted, right? So there's some weights that need to be adjusted of people in your life. People need to get repositioned and move around. You can't be afraid to do that work so that you can do what you need to do, because it's going to weigh you down. You want to go far and you want to go high. So it's going to take some repositioning of people. Yeah. So blessings to this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I was a little dusty, darling. Thank you all so much for watching, tuning in, doing the Conduit Method. I hope there were some things in here that resonated with you. If some things didn't resonate, girl, leave them. Honey, leave them. Child, leave them. And until next time, you can also do this spread yourself if you want to get some more clarity or draw your own cards to get more specific, because this is more collective. But yes, until next time, thank you so much. Ciao.